So today, I call on all of you here in Lima, negotiators, diplomats, scientists, economists, and concerned citizens in Peru and around the world to demand resolve from your leaders. Speak out. Make climate change an issue that no public official can ignore for even one more day, let alone for one more election. Make a transition towards clean energy the only policy that you'll accept, and make it clear that an ambitious agreement in Paris is not an option, it's an urgent necessity. We can get there. How do I know that? And I do. I believe we can get there. Because at the end of the day, we have no choice. And because we're starting to see signs that, thankfully, more and more of the world is coming to the same conclusion. You only have to look at the United States and China to understand what I'm talking about. Our two nations are the world's largest consumers of energy, and we are the world's largest emitters of global greenhouse gases. Together, we account for roughly 40% of the world's emissions. And it's no secret that we've had very different views when it comes to climate change. I can remember discussions with Chinese 10 years ago that went nowhere. But in Beijing last month, I had the privilege of joining President Obama as he stood next to President Xi to jointly, side by side, announce our respective ambitious post-2020 mitigation commitments, and to call on other countries to come forward with their own ambitious targets as quickly as possible so we can conclude a strong agreement next year. The United States and China, two countries long regarded as the leaders of opposing camps in these negotiations, have now found common ground on this issue. That is a historic milestone, and it should send a clear message to all of us that the roadblocks we've hit for decades can be removed from our path. Now, I'm not suggesting it's going to happen in one fell swoop or that it's easy. There isn't a person in this room who probably isn't pretty tuned in to how hard it is. But I am confident we can rise above the debates that have dragged us down. We can find a way to summon the shared resolve that we need to tackle this shared threat. And if we do that, then we will reach an agreement. We will meet this challenge. That is our charge, and for the sake of our children, our grandchildren, and our responsibility as human beings on this earth, this is a charge we must keep.